Good morning, America. Slashing jobs. Federal workers bracing for a new round of firings with a new email. Show your work or you'll be shown the door. Who's being targeted now?
Breaking overnight, Israel stops all goods and supplies into the Gaza Strip after Hamas rejects a proposal to extend the first phase of a fragile ceasefire.
Oval Office fallout. Ukraine's President Zelensky seeking and finding support in the UK, hours after that White House shouting match that shocked the world. What's next as Europe's leaders meet today for a summit on support for Kyiv?
Breaking overnight, convention center chaos. People rushing for the exits at a cheerleading competition. What prompted the rush?
Comeback run. New York's former governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned amidst a scandal, plots a return to politics, now announcing a run for New York City mayor.
And Oscar night is here. Hollywood honors its own in a year of memorable movie performances. GMA on the freshly rolled out red carpet, the biggest names in Hollywood prepping for their appearances.
I am honored to host.
First-time host Conan O'Brien warning, expect the unexpected. GMA going one-on-one with the nominees.
I was offered the opportunity to bring my whole self into this film.
And looking at who could win Best Dressed. The musical performances and the tributes, and a night of building suspense, and one that could make Oscar history.
Live from Times Square and Los Angeles, this is GMA.
Good morning, America. Coming to you coast to coast this morning. We have a lot of news to get to, but of course we are talking about Hollywood's biggest night, now just hours away. And look at Johnson over there looking so
sharp.
dapper.
Yes, the Academy giving us some behind-the-scenes snapshots of the final preparations for tonight's Oscar show. The actors looking quite casual as they ran through the rehearsal overnight. Now they're going to be busy getting primed and preened to look their very best for the cameras and get ready to walk that beautiful red carpet. But as we just showed you, Whit's ready. Whit's ready for that red carpet, looking primed and preened.
We're ready. Let's go. What did I tell you yesterday? I said two things. I said color and texture. So I got a little help with this, and I desperately needed it.
Velvet?
So we turned it up a bit. It is velvet, yes. It's like I feel like a stuffed animal in this thing. Not bad, right? We'll get into all of that later this morning, but we're so excited. We're just hours away. They've removed the plastic from the red carpet. We see the guys out with the vacuum cleaners all morning long. It's almost showtime for the 97th Academy Awards. 10 Best Picture nominees, 5 for Best Director, and 20 hopefuls competing for the top prizes in acting.
Just hours from now, the biggest names in Hollywood will parade across that world-famous red carpet and into the Dolby Theater for an evening like no other.
An icon of achievement and timeless beauty.
Timeless beauty. It's a bit much, but I'll take it.
And tonight, with first-time host Conan O'Brien at the helm,
I am honored to host.
expect the unexpected, as he told our Lara Spencer.
I don't care if my ideas are bad ideas. I care that they're new and you haven't seen it before.
I like
You know
this.
what I mean? Wrestling a giant cobra,
Yeah.
you know,
For no
the
reason.
first time on stage,
Yeah.
hasn't been done.
No.
I'm going to do it. So I want people to be watching thinking there's a good chance he doesn't survive the night.
Yeah.
The Academy foregoing the traditional Best Original Song performances, instead featuring acts from Doja Cat, Queen Latifah, Ray, Lisa of Blackpink, and
what is this feeling so sudden and new?
I felt the moment I laid eyes on you.
wicked duo Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Anytime you see those two together, you have to expect something.
Oscar's musical director Michael Bearden opening up about his full-circle opportunity to honor fellow music producer and composer, the late Quincy Jones, in this year's In Memoriam segment.
He was the first black conductor of the Oscars.
Sounds like a man who knows a little something about scoring.
That's how I want to honor him, with the music, with my part of it. It's just to be joyful, have fun, and as you said, when you came in the room, you felt that.
And in the wake of the LA wildfires that took a toll on so many here in the entertainment community, the Academy is promising some powerful moments and tributes tonight, highlighting the resilience of Los Angeles. And even the goodie bags will include resources for those impacted by the fires. Gio?
Yeah, absolutely. But we know that you're going to be here all morning long on this show to bring us the very latest there from the red carpet. Whit, we appreciate that as always. We are going to turn now to those mass federal firings and rising levels of uncertainty for government workers. Billionaire Elon Musk doubling down on his Doge drive to slash federal spending. ABC's Selena Wang is in Washington with details now on what's ahead this week. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, good morning, Gio. Yeah, federal workers are getting even more anxious and confused. Thousands have already been laid off, and those who still have their jobs are now getting yet another email asking them what they did at work last week. Elon Musk says if they don't respond, they'll be fired. This morning, federal workers bracing for more layoffs as they receive a second wave of emails demanding they list 5 tasks they completed at work last week by Monday night. Elon Musk saying those who fail to respond will be fired. Writing on X, the president has made it clear that this is mandatory for the executive branch. The email doesn't include Musk's threat, only adding to the confusion. It's the latest push from Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to dramatically slash the federal workforce. The Department of Education giving workers a Monday deadline to accept a payment of up to $25,000 to voluntarily resign or retire, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. And the Social Security Administration, which provides key benefits to older Americans, saying it plans to cut 7,000 workers.
Only the federal government could get away with this level of waste.
Secretary of Defense Hegseth telling workers to comply with Musk's order as the Pentagon braces for thousands of layoffs any day now. This 30-year veteran currently working for the Army Corps of Engineers tells me he started the hunt for a new job.
We've sat up here and put the sacrifice out. It's almost like a slap in the face, like we don't even matter, we don't count.
Are you worried that all these changes could impact our country's military readiness?
Definitely.
This federal worker who says he was recently fired from the General Services Administration rebuking Musk.
Now just incredibly terrified and scrambling to find new jobs to keep the roof over our head and, feed our little one.
A federal judge is ruling that these mass firings of probationary workers is illegal, but said he doesn't have the power to reinstate the workers or stop future firings. Janae?
All right, Selena Wang, thank you so much. Turning overseas now, with Israel stopping all goods and supplies into Gaza, insisting the first phase of the ceasefire deal needs to be extended. ABC's Inez de la Cotara has the latest developments. Good morning to you, Inez.
Good morning, Janae. Yeah, Israel announcing it is halting the delivery of all goods to Gaza, accusing Hamas of rejecting a U.S. proposal to extend phase 1 of the ceasefire deal. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying moments ago the decision was coordinated with the Trump administration, and this comes as Israel and Hamas had just begun negotiating next steps in Cairo. Israel endorsing a proposal by U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff to extend phase 1 by another 6 weeks. That would see half of the remaining hostages released on the first day of the extended ceasefire, the other half released at the end if a permanent ceasefire is reached. Hamas, though, saying the terms of the deal require both sides to move directly into phase 2, which was set to include the release of all living hostages in exchange for a permanent ceasefire and the full withdrawal of all IDF troops from Gaza. Hamas sees the Witkoff plan as an attempt to try and delay talks to end the war, and Hamas calling the decision to block aid cheap blackmail. This morning, the Israeli Prime Minister warning there could be further consequences. Gio?
All right, Inez, thank you so much. And the president of Ukraine is turning to Europe for support and getting it following that shocking Oval Office shouting match in Washington. ABC's Tom Soufi-Burge is in London now with the latest. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, Ukrainian President Zelensky arriving here moments ago, along with other European leaders, even the Canadian Prime Minister. But there are no US officials here at this key summit on Ukraine. Of course, it comes after that blistering bust-up between President Trump and Zelensky at the White House. And we're learning more from the British Prime Minister about a possible way forward. This morning, European leaders, including French President Macron, arriving in London for a key summit on Ukraine, as the UK says it's now working with France on a new peace plan, which it will present to the US. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying he spoke with President Trump last night after his meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Starmer announcing the European-led initiative in an interview this morning.
We've now agreed that the United Kingdom, along with France and possibly one or two others, will work with Ukraine on a plan to stop the fighting. And then we'll discuss that plan with the United States.
Ukrainian President Zelensky touching down in London this weekend, just hours after his meeting with President Trump in the Oval Office descended into chaos.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
But what a contrast in London Saturday. People demonstrating in support of Ukraine ahead of Zelensky's arrival. The UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer then embracing Zelensky at number 10 Downing Street. Starmer saying the UK will support Ukraine for as long as it takes, and backing Zelensky personally and his plea to President Trump that a peace deal can only work if there are security guarantees that prevent Russia from re-attacking Ukraine.
Americans stand with Ukraine.
Back across the pond in Washington, protesters gathering outside the White House calling for continued US support for Ukraine after Trump and Zelensky's Oval Office bust up.
Well, unfortunately, I'm so incredibly impressed with Zelensky. He handled that situation so well in the Oval Office. But what Trump did was a disgrace to the United States.
Well, after talks wrap up here, Zelensky is set to meet King Charles later today with another key European summit in just a few days amid a growing sense of crisis over Ukraine and US-European relations. Janae?
All right, Tom, thank you. Now to the tariffs set to go into effect this week on goods from 3 of the country's biggest trading partners. The new fees will apply to goods from Canada and Mexico, plus higher surcharges for imports from China. ABC's Alexis Christoforous is here to break down what it means for your wallet. And Alexis, what do these tariffs mean for consumers, and how soon could we start to feel the impacts?
It all depends really on a couple of things. How long will these tariffs be in place, and how willing and able are businesses to absorb those higher costs and not pass them on to consumers? So we could actually start seeing the effects at the supermarket within weeks. We're talking about perishable items like fresh fruits and vegetables, including avocados, tomatoes, bell peppers, also baked goods, cereals and pasta, as well as beef and some seafood from Canada. And if you're in the market for a new car, analysts say the tariffs could add up to at least $3,000 more on that price. That includes, by the way, domestic cars.
At least.
Exactly.
Wow.
Could be more for trucks, SUVs. Some other categories here that could be impacted if this goes on longer: clothing, shoes, pharmaceuticals.
So how are consumers responding? Like, are we already changing the way we're spending money?
Look, consumers have been a rock star throughout all of this. I mean, higher prices, higher interest rates. We continue to spend. A lot of that is because of the job market, the strong job market that we've had. But we're starting to see some cracks here. Consumer confidence suffered its biggest drop in nearly 4 years in February. A lot of people now saying they're frustrated with inflation, the threat of these tariffs, and that they're starting to feel a little less secure about their own finances. Also adding to this, Walmart this past week said that sales will probably slow down this year. They're considered a bellwether for consumer spending. Wow. So if we continue to pull back in a more dramatic way, this could spell trouble for the economy. I spoke to at least 2 economists this week who say they're actually expecting a recession later this year. Could be a little premature to start talking recession, but it's clearly on their minds.
And Alexis, that speaks to the power that people have. So on Friday, when there were many people who said, we're not going to go shopping today, there are businesses that do feel the impacts of that.
If you do it long enough, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, Alexis, I know you'll stay on top of it. Thank you so much. Sure. And we are going to turn now to the frightening moments at a cheerleading competition. Some people were even injured rushing from their seats. Take a look. Chaos and confusion at a youth cheerleading competition in Texas. Thousands rushing to the exits.
Get out! Go, get out!
We heard pop, 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 but I didn't know what it was.
Spectators and athletes fleeing the Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center in Dallas, fearing there was gunfire.
Someone yelled, the shooter's coming this way, the shooter's coming this way.
Thousands of cheerleaders attending the National Cheerleaders Association All-Star National Competition.
We're going to an active shooter at the convention center.
Police getting to the area but discovering there hadn't been any gunfire at all. Dallas police saying a fight between 2 people led to multiple poles being knocked down, causing a loud noise.
It started a fight. There was a big fight and it just blew up.
People inside had mistaken the noise for gunfire and panicked, leading them to rush outside in a stampede. Several suffering minor injuries in the pandemonium.
It was just a very scary experience, and we're just praying that everyone involved is okay.
Yeah, so scary there. And organizers suspended events after all that, but the competition will be back on today. Dallas police say they haven't made any arrests.
Okay, well, at least the competition will be back on, Gio. Thank you. Now to Andrew Cuomo, trying to launch a political comeback, announcing he'll run for mayor for New York City 4 years after resigning as governor of the state of New York. ABC's Morgan Norwood explains.
New York City is the greatest city in the world.
This morning, Andrew Cuomo shaking up the race for New York City's mayor. The former New York governor who stepped down following multiple sexual harassment allegations re-entering the political sphere, saying he wants to save the city of New York.
I believe I can help, and that is why I announced my candidacy today for mayor of New York City.
In his nearly 20-minute pitch to potential voters, Cuomo touting his decades of experience in politics, saying he can fix what he called a failing transit system, economy, and migrant crisis.
I know what needs to be done, and I know how to do it.
He joins an already crowded Democratic field, looking to unseat embattled New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's awaiting a final word from a judge on whether to dismiss sweeping federal corruption charges after the DOJ recommended it be thrown out so he could focus on his re-election bid and the president's immigration overhaul. Adams has denied all allegations. The end of Cuomo's tenure as governor was marred by scandal. At least 11 women, some state employees, accusing him of sexual harassment. Cuomo denying all claims, even upon his resignation. Before that, Cuomo, who was the face of New York's response to COVID, came under fire for his handling of the virus when it was spreading through nursing homes. Cuomo largely stood by his decision-making at the time.
Did I make mistakes? Some painfully? Definitely. And I believe I learned from them.
And Cuomo avoiding criticism of President Trump in his announcement as well, instead saying he hopes to work with Trump again. The former governor wasting no time hitting the campaign trail. We know that he made stops in Manhattan and the Bronx yesterday.
Morgan Norwood, our thanks to you. This morning, a passing to note. Grammy-nominated R&B singer Angie Stone has died. Her label says Stone was traveling with members of her band from Alabama to Atlanta when their van collided with a semi-truck early Saturday. Stone was pronounced dead on the scene. She rose to fame in the 1970s as a member of the female rap group The Sequence before going solo with hits like Wish I Didn't Miss You. Angie Stone was 63 years old. She absolutely will be so deeply missed.
Oh, it's so sad that this happened.
Heartbreaking story.
Firefly's Blue Ghost lunar lander has successfully touched down on the moon. This is Firefly's first time landing there, making that landing on the move, and it makes it only the second U.S. company to achieve it. Now, the little lander sending back some images right there. Blue Ghost will now stay on the moon for the next 2 weeks to conduct 10 experiments for NASA. NASA paid $101 million for the delivery, another $44 million for the science and tech on board.
But really cool that we're going to be getting information back from the moon.
Yeah, and
I know this
find that
they've done this
water and-
before,
yeah.
but it's still so cool every single time.
It is.
All right, Gio. Well, now to a historic performance for a college gymnast. I spoke with the Clemson junior, who's become the first NCAA gymnast to land one of Olympic legend Simone Biles' spectacular signature moves. This is the moment Clemson University gymnast Bree Clark made collegiate history.
And she's able to land it well. It's like a dream come true. I don't think it's really hit me yet.
The first in the NCAA to complete the Biles 1, a double layout with a half twist landing blind. Celebrating with her team and the GOAT herself.
Shut up. Twice! Yes! Like, she knows I exist, and she pushed some buttons to, like...
That's right. The 7-time Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles writing congrats and closing out Black History Month. I know that's right. Bree's milestone moment was a move created by Biles herself, who first performed it at the 2013 World Championship.
Half at the end.
What was it like when you saw that Simone saw it?
Wow. I was... Because she is, like, such a role model for me, and I've always, like, looked up to her, and I think she's, like, one of the coolest people on the planet. So I'm like, she knows I exist.
The Mobile, Alabama phenom has been blazing trails since she started gymnastics at age 10, eventually getting an athletic scholarship to Clemson with one goal in mind, to land that Biles 1.
My mom had a shirt made that was like, I just made history. That was the first time, and then I like lost it.
So cool. And I asked her, what goes through your mind when you're flipping through the air? Does your mind go silent or what? And she said she counts her steps and then tells herself to go.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
it just kind of goes silent.
I love that
and
she's like, she knows who I am.
Yes, yes.
So good. All right, Janae, great story. Also here, the road to the Oscars continues in our next half hour as we hear from some top nominees like Coleman Domingo of Sing Sing.
Yes, and we also have our Real Talk Roundtable. We turn to some social media influencers for their thoughts on the Oscar nominations.
And no Oscar Sunday is complete without a keen look at the fashions that will be on display on the red carpet. Stick around. You're watching GMA on this Oscar Sunday.
Popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper poise when you talk to boys, the ways to alert and sounds. Ew.
So we are back now on the road to the Oscars, and that road takes us back to Hollywood, buzzing with the ceremony just hours away. And look, you're seeing Gio and I on your screen. I cannot wait for you to see the other people that you're about to see on your screen.
Let's just see them right now. Let's take this shot to show Whit Johnson and Linsey Davis.
A moment for Miss Linsey Davis.
Can you do a little spin or something?
Come on, Linsey.
I mean, come on. Look at that.
Go, girl.
Obviously.
Oh, Janae, just for you.
Linsey is going to be the co-host today and this afternoon with Whit Johnson right there for the red carpet pre-show. Guys, take it away. You must be feeling amazing.
At our third time.
Yeah, our third
It's a
time.
charm.
Third time's a charm. That's right. You look incredible, of course,
thank
putting
you.
these guys to shame this morning. But we've got a fun day coming up. We do. Of course, the red carpet is rolled out here, and soon the celebrities will be rolling up as well.
900 feet of red carpet. But think about it like this, Whit. This time a month ago, we weren't even sure if this little spectacle of glamour would even take place. But alas, we are in Hollywood, and as they say, the show must go on. Plus, it doesn't hurt that LA actually receives an estimated $175 million economic boost from the Academy Awards. And while the firefighters and first responders on the front lines for January's wildfires are expected to be honored and in the spotlight tonight, so too will some of Hollywood's A-listers. I had a chance to sit down with a few of them. Some newcomers, and for others, it's getting to be old hat.
Jealousy is a disease. Remember that time.
How did you find out about the Oscar nomination?
I was just gonna sleep and then maybe possibly wake up to a phone call or not, but I was convinced to watch it live, and I'm glad I did.
So Sean Baker, who's the director, he reaches out to you after seeing you in Scream and says, hey, I want you to do this role, Annie. How involved were you in bringing Annie to life?
Oh, it was very collaborative. He really welcomed me into the process of making the movie in such a big way. He really made it clear from the beginning that he cared about what I had to say and my opinions.
Since you've been in custody, you've been involved in a theater program.
I am Gladiator Goliath.
And so what attracted you to this role? All I knew about it before I watched was that it had actually people who had been incarcerated who were now serving as the actors.
That was part of the draw. I mean, it's about this rehabilitation through the arts program at Sing Sing Prison that was founded by inmates. And so they got all these skills, these theater skills, these acting skills. And my director, Greg Creedar, thought it was brilliant to actually invite some of these guys to audition to be a part of it.
You said that you felt closer to this film than any other. What was unique about this one?
I was offered the opportunity to bring my whole self into this film. How much I care about black and brown men. How much I care about these brothers who, because of circumstances, ended up in the prison industrial complex. And I know that these men are my cousins. They're my neighbors.
Has there ever been a character you've played that has come close to this?
Nunca había tenido un personaje como este. Estamos acostumbrados, creo, a historias, obviamente, de héroes, de villanos, pero un personaje con tal arco de posibilidades que empieza siendo lo peor, que va de la oscuridad a la luz.
And we conducted that interview with Carla Sofia Gascon prior to the revelation of her past offensive tweets, which created all the subsequent fallout. But she is expected to be here today on the red carpet after skipping many of the other big award shows. So that is only adding to all of the buzz. That is the 97th Academy Awards. And fun fact, if Isabella Rossellini wins for Conclave Best Supporting Actress, first mother-daughter duo ever to nab a pair of Oscars.
That's
so
incredible.
Really exciting.
Plus Fernanda Torres, too, and following her mother's footsteps as well. So a lot of
many fun
history to be made.
storylines like that.
All right, so that's just a taste of our pre-Oscars coverage. So we're going to bring in Senior Awards Editor for Variety, Mr. Clayton Davis, who will be with us on the red carpet later today, as he does every year.
I was just walking by.
Just walking by, yeah.
My long-lost cousin.
Exactly. No, we love to have you, and we love putting you on the spot as well. So we're going to come to you for the predictions right out of the gates. The three big ones, right? Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress. What do you think?
Picture, Down to Honora versus Conclave, PGA, DGA, WGA combo, they're all key precursors. It's hard to bet against Honora. The last movie to lose with that combo, Brokeback Mountain. So that would be historic if that happened. So we get to actor, race between Timmy and Adrian. Timothée Chalamet won the SAG Award. Voting was already closed. I think it's going to be Adrian Brody. I think he just had the momentum going into voting. And then actress, it's one that stresses me out a lot.
Don't stress out. We're just getting started.
You have Demi Moore, who's had the narrative all season. You have Fernanda Torres, who's amazing. And then you also have Mikey Madison, who won the BAFTA Award. All in all, I'm going with 62-year-old Demi Moore, going to be the sixth oldest woman ever to win that prize, even though she's the sixth youngest looking one to win that prize. But I just think her work on The Substance, everyone loves her story.
What kind of milestones might you be looking for tonight?
I'm looking for Sean Baker to possibly win 4 Oscars in one night, be the first time since Walt Disney in 1952. And then I'm looking at Diane Warren to possibly win her long overdue Oscar, 16th time the charm, Sweet 16. Maybe she does it tonight.
Yeah, what do you think it is about this one? 16 nominations. Why is she going to pull it off tonight?
Two Amelia Perez songs, splits votes, comes up the middle.
Okay. All right, Clayton Davis, as always, looking forward to it. We'll see you in a couple hours later today. And of course, for those of you at home, if you want to play along with the prediction game, ABC has teamed up with our friends at ESPN for a free online Oscars ballot. One person will win 2 round-trip tickets to the 2026 Academy Museum Oscars watch party here in L.A. and $5,000. There's money involved, right? Head to abc.com/Oscars. Pick 'em by 6:59 p.m. Eastern today, and you can go ahead and vote.
I'm going to get some of your
That's right.
I didn't know that was
I'll put your name on it so you can qualify.
Still coming up here on Good Morning America, our Real Talk Roundtable. Social media influencers weigh in on the appeal of this year's Best Picture nominees.
Whether they're Oscar nominees. We're back now with our Real Talk Roundtable. There's always a debate when the nominations for Best Picture are announced. And now that it's Oscars time, Will Gans checked in with some major social media influencers who gave their thoughts on whether the Academy got it right this year. Take a look.
What are the movies that resonated with you and with your followers this year?
The Substance was talked about a lot. It really resonated very deeply with a lot of my followers.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
And I think a lot of women can relate to, if I am not beautiful, am I invisible?
You're great.
I am.
The weekend was everywhere. Everybody was interested. We all wanted to see how it was going to end. So to see that get so many nominations this year was exciting.
You have Wicked, you have Dune, but then there's like a few like that are nominated, like Conclave, that like really resonated with people.
No sane man would want the papacy.
Then there's like something like Challengers.
Do you have any take on why Challengers was shut out this year?
I wish I could say that I knew why.
To listen is to accept.
Okay, forgive me, but I have to bring it up. Amelia Perez. I'm just gonna read a couple tweets to you guys. Every time Amelia Perez wins an award, I lose years of my life. I feel the need to remind people that on top of everything else, Amelia Perez is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Is all of the hate fair?
If this is a Latin American story, as a Latina, I would love to see Latin Americans express that. So seeing someone like Selena Gomez on screen not be perfect, but still claim their identity, because language is more than just verbs. It's feeling, it's expression, it's all these things.
All right, some strong opinions there. We're now going to go to the anti-experts here. We're going to talk to Janae and Gio. No, I mean, look.
All that shade because the sun's not up in
We want to
California
get your
yet.
thoughts. That's what it is. That's what it is. No, but your personal thoughts, your favorites to win Best Picture this year. What do you think?
What do you think, Gio?
So I'm going to say, Conclave is definitely a favorite. So I'm going to say that. But also, I would really love to see Wicked win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2. What about you, Whit?
No, you did not. See, you said that just because you know that I love that movie. I'm going with Conclave. Incredible cast, lots of twists and turns at the end. Beautiful film. That's my pick.
So awesome. All right, Whit, thank you so much.
From metallics to sparkling sequins, big bow ties, and structured suits.
Yeah, it is time to talk fashion. Whit, everyone is excited to see what the stars are wearing.
Thank you so much, Jay and Gio. Yes, I'm here with Joe Z, celebrity fashion expert and host of the series Dressed. He's going to tell us who to watch on the red carpet. Joe, good morning. It's great to see you at this hour.
Good morning, yes.
Joe, by the way, is my fashion consultant as well. We'll get into all of that later, but let's talk about Best Actress nominee Demi Moore. She's always making a statement.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have to say, if anyone is asking you who to watch this season, this is her time. It's her time in the movies, it's her time for acting, but it's her time on the red carpet. I mean, she started this 9 months ago for The Substance at every single award show and has not had a single misstep. And I think she's going to be the one to watch tonight as to what she's wearing.
And of course, another Best Actress nominee that you know is going to bring it, Cynthia Erivo.
I mean, she's looked wickedly great this entire season. You know what I can expect from Cynthia is that you can expect the unexpected. There is always something that is truly not what you think it's going to be, and she's great at wearing archival. She's been really, really digging into the vaults of designers.
And so we started having this discussion last year, right? And I think it all started with Coleman Domingo, who is definitely one to watch on the red carpet for the men.
Yeah, I have to say, so two of the best male nominees this year are really the trailblazers in changing menswear on the red carpet. Coleman Domingo being one of them, absolutely. And of course, Timothée Chalamet has really been the one to really just change the entire game when it came to menswear. And then, you know, I'm doing it for you too.
Yes, right. Okay, so let's talk about that. Who else are you keeping an eye on tonight?
Maybe Mr. Whit Johnson.
So, and this all started again. It was a year ago. We were like, I'm like this suburban dad. I don't like getting dressed up. And you're like, let me help you.
Yes, literally a year ago, commercial break on the red carpet. I said, next year when we do this, I'm going to help you. And we did it remotely this year for a month. And I sent you to this amazing tailor that's been in business for 100 years, Jack Victor. And I said, listen, if you don't want to do Coleman and you don't want Timothy all the way, let's just take a bit of guidance from them and let's do something that was color and texture so that we can like amp it up a bit. And here we are.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for your help. Truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in a few hours.
In a few hours.
Right back here on the red carpet. Looking forward to it.
All right. So before we get to the big night, Whit, what are you excited for?
I'm excited for a lot here, guys. Obviously, to talk to some of the nominees before they go in. Let's see if Coleman Domingo finally brings me that coffee that he owed me from 2 years ago. I want to ask Timothée Chalamet about Dune Part 3 and the musical performances, Wicked, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande. That's going to be incredible.
So your coffee and Dune Part 3. This is very self-involved.
Priorities.
Getting the answers we all need, Whit. Oh, so we hope you have the best time, my friend. Enjoy it all. Be present. Soak it all up. And the big show tonight, of course, you at home can be watching. Whit will be co-hosting on the red carpet with Linsey Davis and our friends at our ABC station.
And of course, at 7 p.m. right here on ABC, you've got the Oscars. Have a great day, everybody. Whit, you're looking good.